Thanks for tuning in to Jam Happy Hour, benefiting Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. I'm Michelle, the M in Jam Sellers, that with my husband John, we started a decade ago. Sweet Relief is a nonprofit fund that provides financial assistance for career musicians and industry workers who are struggling to make ends meet. And with your help, over the next 12 months, Jam Sellers is committed to raising $25,000 for Sweet Relief. Simply listen in, comment, share, or like, and Jam Sellers will donate $1 up to $2,500 per show if you do. Plus, you can click or text to donate directly to Sweet Relief. So pour yourself a glass of butter Chardonnay and get ready to enjoy some new music. Cheers.
Cheers indeed. Welcome into the Jam Happy Hour. My name is Jana. I am so excited to be with you on this lovely Friday afternoon, evening, wherever you're tuning in from, for not only a great Jam Happy Hour, but also to benefit the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund, which we will talk about more. But I want to bring our guest on here right away because Fritz Hager is hanging out with us for the next hour, coming from Nashville, Tennessee. Cheers to you, sir.
Cheers. Cheers. Big old cheers.
Right, clinks to that. He's enjoying some butter cab. I too am enjoying the butter cab this evening. But for those of us who are just tuning in, this not only is a great hour of music and conversation, but we get to raise money for a really cool fund, being the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. So for every like and click and share and random emoji or question you want to put into the comments, we, Jam Sellers, will donate $1 on your behalf to the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund, and we have fun with it. And speaking of the fun, the music, getting to know each other better, thank you so much for being here with us, Fritz. And I want to jump in. Like, how do you want to set the tone for this Jam Happy Hour? What would you like to play first?
Well, thank you so much for having me, first off.
We love it.
I think I'm going to play Two Step. So I released this single a couple months ago. It's a fun one. Yeah.
All right. Well, here's Two Step. Fritz Hager in the Jam Happy Hour. Thank you so much.
You could be my heartbreak. I'd love to talk, but I'm a snowflake, baby. I bet they call you Aphrodite. Oh, it's too early, but I might be falling in love. There I go again, there I go again. Picturing a future with a girl I never met. There she goes again, there she goes again. I think she's coming over, oh God, she's coming over. She said, two-step like we're running away. It doesn't matter where we're going, just take me away. Ripped jeans in your beautiful face. So girl, I want you back. You know it, I know it. You know I want you back. You know I want you back. You know it. Grooving. Oh girl, I'm liking what you're doing to me. You got me self-improving. I wouldn't mind it if you're moving with me. There I go again, there I go again. Picturing a future with the girl I just met. There she goes again, there we go again. I think we're getting closer, oh God, we're getting closer. Two-step like we're running away. It doesn't matter where we're going, just take me away. Ripped jeans and your beautiful face. So girl, I want you back. You know it, I know it. You know I want you back. You know I want you back. A two-step to attach, Mr. Hemophiliac. Hit me like a heart attack. Wonder if you call me back. Two-step to attach, Mr. Hemophiliac. Hit me like a heart attack. Wonder if you call me back. Said two-step to attach, Mr. Hemophiliac. Hit me like a heart attack. Wonder if you call me back. Two-step to attach, Mr. Hemophiliac. Hit me like a heart attack. Whoa, yeah. Two-step like we're running away. It doesn't matter where we're going, just take me away. Ripped jeans and your beautiful face. So girl, I want you there. You know it, I know it. You know I know I want you there. I know I want you there. I know I want you there. No, no, no. I know I want you there. You know I want you there. Yeah.
A really great way to kick off our Jam Happy Hour. Thank you so much, Fritz Hager, for being here with us and helping us raise money for Sweet Relief. I already saw Tanya and Adrian and Anthony. The comments are going, which means we're raising money, which is a ton of fun. But somebody behind you is very unbothered by what's happening.
Oh. Yeah, this is I don't know if everybody can see.
Yeah. Hi, Tex. Hi, Tex. Oh, my gosh.
Dude, he's the
What a
best.
beautiful dog.
I think he's around 7 now.
Okay.
My brother got him for his birthday. But he's my younger brother's dog, but really he's
yours.
not.
If you're listening in the podcast, is a beautiful German Shepherd who's like looking at Fritz like, what are you doing? Are you singing again? Like, you know, obviously you've been incredibly busy with Idol and like all the post-Idol stuff too. And we'll jump into that a little bit. But how great is it just to be able to kind of be home and settle and kind of like come down from that? Like that decompression has got to be a total whirlwind.
Yeah, I mean, like during the show, I mean, it was sort of all cylinders, you know, going. It was crazy. And, you know, we just moved to Nashville in January. So for the
As a
first,
family.
So I live with 2 of my brothers. So my younger
perfect.
brother,
All right.
Henry and Joe, we found a spot up here in Nashville, and we finally feel like we're like properly settled. Speaking of Joe.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that
in
was
the background.
Yeah, no,
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, we just got settled
Yes.
here, and we just got
Brothers.
settled, and it's been, you know, it's been nice, and like being close to the industry now too, like because I was in Texas before,
Right.
Tyler, Texas, and there's not really a
big music scene
there.
No?
Not really. No.
Not comparable to Nashville. And so much of the industry
Right.
is moving to Nashville. It's kind of like, you know, Nashville's always been like this amazing music town, but there's such a scene happening there right now, especially for like songwriters and musicians and, you know, artists in like all the different ways. Like if somebody asked you to describe yourself, because I'll be honest, I didn't watch Idol, you know, and there's a lot of us that are now starting to learn about you that didn't. So here's your chance to write your narrative. You know, do you consider yourself a singer, a songwriter, both, artist, multi-hyphenated? Like, for those that are just getting to know Fritz Hager for the first time, how would you describe yourself?
Man, I think that I like to think of myself as a songwriter first. Because I know I can sing, I can hit notes, but like the thing that like
You say it like that's
grounds me-
easy.
Well,
You don't want to
you
hear
know,
me sing, Fritz. It's not an easy thing.
actually, I think that would be amazing to hear you sing. Why
Well,
don't
we'll
we
get you
flip
in
the
Napa.
switch?
Yeah, we'll do that in Napa in person. But sorry, I
Right.
interrupted you. So when it comes to like songwriting, you think that's like a little more of like where you get your challenge from?
It's where I get my challenge, and it's sort of what grounds me. I mean, that's where things started for me. Like when I first started learning guitar in like middle school in like 6th grade, I learned 4 chords during my first lesson and immediately started writing, you know? So like that's sort of where the artist of me sort of began. And I
That's
try
where it
to like
clicked.
prioritize that, in my music.
Who were some of the first songwriters that you were like, yeah, I want to do that?
Man, I have a very vivid memory of me like driving to Dallas with my dad. It was like an hour and a half drive. For like, I used to do like a bunch of talent shows and stuff when I was a kid, a bunch
Sure.
of festivals, you know, and I was driving with my dad, and he played John Mayer for the first time. Which was like,
okay.
Yeah, so every time we went up to Dallas, it was John Mayer. For a while too, like starting out, it was Ed Sheeran, which I feel like
Solid.
anyone my age a white guy that plays guitar, they probably listen to Ed Sheeran at some point.
And John Mayer.
And John
Check
Mayer,
and
you're
check.
right. The big two.
Another one that I've heard you
sort of
reference is also more classic sounds too. Like, what kind of music did you like grow up listening to? Because I've seen you name check like, oh, well, obviously you performed Oasis, but like Killers and AC/DC. Like, did you grow up in a rock and roll household?
I grew up in sort of a everything household. So like I listened to a lot of like old country and like 80s classic rock. My older brother was really into classic rock, and whenever he'd drive us to school like in the mornings, that's all that we would play. So like AC/DC or like Toto. I love Toto. And then like more sort of, I don't know, would it be like 80s pop, like Tears for Fears? I love Tears for Fears. Like all those guys. And then like
synth?
a lot of like 80s synth pop.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Kinda.
It's like
That's a really weird genre. A lot of songwriters don't get down with like the 80s synth. That's why I always ask.
I mean, you gotta. Everybody Wants to Rule the World is like the greatest song ever written, in my opinion.
I don't want to rule the world. I want to be second in command. I want all the perks, none of the pressure. As you sip your wine. Let me reset for a second. You guys, we're hanging out with Fritz Hager here in the Jam Happy Hour. It is the Sweet Relief Musicians Fun Show, which means for every comment that you put up, question, request, Tanya, I'm looking at you, every comment that you make, we're going to donate $1 on your behalf while we sip back and enjoy some lovely jam and butter wines. I would love to jump into another song before we get into some more Q&A. And what are you kind of feeling for us next, Fritz?
Man, so I just released a single called Bad Friend. I thought I was going to play that for you guys.
I saw that on my Instagram. A lot of traction on that already. How is it to put something out into the world and see it to kind of go boop?
It's always great. And like even if it doesn't go boop, it's like like just creating something and having it exist is just, I don't know, like that's always been number one for me. Like being able to create something out of nothing and manifest that into like the real world always feels great,
I want to talk more about that after the fact though, because I want to hear some Bad Friend right now here in the Jam Happy Hour, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Fritz Hager, take it away.
Headlights out on a one-way drive, running from my own lit face. Said to you, darling, don't think twice. We were dancing out on a frozen lake, waiting for the ice to break. We just never knew that our love had weight. And I kept pulling on the cord. You needed me and I needed more. It was my fault that you cut it off. Guess I read it wrong. What a waste of it all. I didn't know what I'd lose. Falling in love with you. Called me a bad friend. Was I a bad friend? 17 in my room, I didn't know the rules of being a good man. Was I a bad friend? Was I a bad friend? I couldn't see your tears in the pouring rain. You were always washed away. Eyes were mirrors and I was vain. I wish you could know all the ways I've changed. You're numb to me like Novocaine. I don't even have another shot to take. And I kept pulling on the cord. You needed me and I needed more. It was my fault that you cut it off. Guess I read it wrong. What a waste of it all. I didn't know what I'd lose. Falling in love with you called me a bad friend. Was I a bad friend? 17 in my room. I didn't know the rules of being a good man. Was I a bad friend? Was I a bad friend? Was I a bad friend? We were dancing out on a frozen lake, waiting for the ice to break. We just never knew that our love had weight. Yeah.
Bad Friend out of Fritz Hager here in the Jam Happy Hour. It's a baby song. It's fresh. Like, it's a couple of weeks out into the world. But how long had that song kind of been swimming around in your mind and in your heart, trying to get it just right? Like, what was like the life arc of Bad Friend?
Yeah, so sometime last year was when we wrote it. I want to say around like November of last year, maybe August, somewhere around there. I was up in LA, which I go there every once in a while, and I wrote it there with two amazing people. So Drew Pearson, who he's just an amazing producer. He's so dope. And then Ilse Juber, who writes, I mean, she is like the most amazing writer I've ever worked with.
It's great when you can click with somebody like that, like professionally, like you like trust her and she trusts you, and you can go to this, like, there's a lot of insecurity in that song too, because you're kind of questioning like who you are as a human. To be able to pull that out though, and put it to a song, I mean, that had to be I mean, I'm in a lot of therapy, and sometimes it's a little scary to pull that stuff out. I mean, and again, with your songwriting, you have to trust who you're working with to be able to get that deep.
100%. Yeah. And like, it was my first time working with Ilse, but I'd written with Drew a couple times. So we were chill, and, I felt comfortable, which like, that's sort of the most important thing, is that you feel comfortable like during a session. And Ilse was just very kind and inviting, and like wanted to listen to what I had to say, so that we could put it to music appropriately.
So that song's almost a year old from the earliest bones.
Yeah, almost a year old. Like we wrote that, and it was just like piano and a little bit of a guitar for a minute, and then, because that's usually where things start for me, is like guitar, piano.
I was curious, like, how do you hear music in your head, like, initially?
No, yeah, it's usually like starts out like, I don't know, like coming up with a cool little guitar thing. So like,
so you hear the music first.
Usually, yeah, and then I try to just like listen and be like, what does this guitar part, what is this piano part, whatever it is, what does it make me feel? And then sort of focus in on that. But yeah, almost a year old, and then it took me a while to get back to LA to finish the production on it, and then
you got busy.
Yeah, and
Sorry. I couldn't help it.
No, right.
You got to come back to it. So that musical, it was still like, you're like,
yeah.
this song is floating around. You're like, I want to finish this. I want to make this right. But
Yeah,
do you
'cause I
make
knew
yourself
it was a
crazy,
killer
like
song.
trying to get it perfect?
I try not to. That's sort of my knee-jerk reaction when writing is to be like everything has to be perfect, whatever. And then I don't know. Recently, I was listening to I think like an interview with this artist Dodie, and she said that like the way she thinks about music or records specifically, like recording music, is that they're like a Polaroid of a song, you know? So like it's a moment of the song, and the song will change however much it will, you know, after, you know, it's been released. And I sort of like, I try to internalize that perspective so that like I can be like, okay, this is how the song is now. There's perfection
In that moment.
and it's and it's gonna change later. I'll play it differently live, whatever it is, you know. But for now, this is how the song is, and there's like perfection in the imperfection of it.
Oh, God, if only I could internalize that. That'd be so great. If only we all could, right? Cheers to that. If you want to toss an emoji up and see how that makes you feel, please do. Because for every comment, like, share, everything you put up, emojis included, we're going to donate $1 on your behalf from Jam Cellars to the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. Now, I want to circle back around because you made a really beautiful point, or I guess Dodie made a beautiful point of that Polaroid moment. And it's been discussed with a handful of artists here in the Jam Happy Hour that you create this song, and you and your team or whoever you're working with, and you finally get to the point where like, okay, this moment is right. This is how it needs to be. And you release it into the world. Do you actually fathom that once you release it, it immediately becomes something different to whoever's going to hear it?
Oh man, that's a great question.
Because what I get from like a song like Bad Friend, you know, is probably something completely different than how you wrote it or how you felt it when you were writing it. There's a big responsibility in, you know, letting this like, you know, musical project kind of, it's like kicking a kid out at 18, like, go, you know, I mean, go live your life because it's going to change and it immediately changes. Do you ever stop and think about like, wow, like I wonder what people are feeling in the moment when they hear this song?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when I write, especially like very lyric heavy stuff like Bad Friend or like some other tracks, I'm sort of thinking the whole time about like in my head it's like, okay, is this too like niche? Is this too like specific to my situation that other people won't get it? But like in reality, like we all live basically the same lives. We all struggle with the same things. And just because we're human, you know? And so every time a song comes out and, you know, someone says, you know, it reaches them personally, like that's the goal for me, to sort of not only be able to express what I'm feeling, but be able to express what someone else is feeling if they don't feel like they have the tools to do that. So.
To get there. Yeah. To like when you can hear a song and all of a sudden you're like, oh God, that's me, or that hits me, or that, you know, that makes me feel a certain kind of way. It's like, yeah, I never really thought about that. Like you're kind of helping maybe identify what's going on in their head when even they can't. Like, why does this song resonate with me?
Yeah. Like music.
I think it also goes back to authenticity too, though.
Oh, 100%. If you don't come at it from a authentic way, people are gonna know, you know, like people are just gonna know, because we can tell like people are smart.
You know, when there's a filter on Instagram, you know when it's not real.
It's all there, right? And like the authenticity of it is so important. And usually, like if I write a song and I quickly decide like, oh, this song is not it. Am I able to do it? Can I curse on here? I don't know if I can.
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
you may.
If this song is shit, you know, like, which I can generally tell, like, it's usually, I sort of go back to like, okay, why am I writing this song? Who am I writing this song for? Is it like a selfish thing? Is it like, am I trying to be too general? You know, like, because I think a lot of music nowadays, even the ones that people really feel, I think there's a lot of conversation behind the scenes of how can we make this as general as possible for everyone, right? Like how do we rope everyone in and make everyone cry to this song, right? And so like there's like there can be like genuine like feeling to that, sure. Two things can be true at the same time. There can be genuine feeling, but there's also sort of the, I don't know, it's kind of mean to be like, or sort of like, I don't know if it's like inconsiderate or disingenuous of being like, okay, I'm going to make people feel these things, but we're going to, make as many people feel it as possible. That's the goal of this song, is to make everyone cry, and like when you lose the soul of the song, then it's like, what are you writing for?
That's where the emotion comes from.
Right.
As a radio programmer, I mean, I see a lot of different songs come across, my desk quite often, and they do tend to fall in like some categories of, here's a party song, here's a banger, here's, there's absolutely no oomph to it at all. It's just, beats and have fun and, put it on your TikTok. And then there is the kind of the more calculated songs of, oh, this is going to make a great branding opportunity, or this is going to make a great, co-relationship with whatever product may be out there. I'm not, Jeep or whatever, who knows. And then there's like the third class of songs that come from this like beautiful place of just being authentic and being honest. And they, no rhyme or reason, some will hit, some won't. And I think it goes back to what you were saying about the disingenuous part. Like if you're trying to calculate, it'll never connect on that level. But if you can get that song to connect on that super honest, guttural, like we're all feeling the same kind of crap place, I think that's where you'll pick up fans, you'll pick up loyalty, you'll pick up people interested in, what you're doing from not just today, not for what's scrolling, but, for years and years and years to come. And what is your 5-year plan, Fritz Hager?
Oh boy, 5-year plan. Dude, I am still wondering what I'm doing next week. Like truly, I don't know.
I love it. I love it.
I want to, I don't know. I just want people to hear my music, as many people as possible, I think. Because music really helped me when I was in a dark place, and like I don't know if that's like cliche to say now, but like it really did. And
yeah,
like sort of how I was saying before of like, I want my music to, like, I see the music industry as the service industry, I want my music to like help people express things that they don't have the tools to express. Because like really like music songwriting is the only way that I know how, or I feel comfortable expressing certain things about myself and like things I feel. And a lot of people don't have the same tools or the same platform that I do to do that. So I just want to write songs that, people connect to.
Speaking of which, it feels like a great transition to jump back into the music here in the Jam Happy Hour. And if you are just joining us, this is a fundraiser for Sweet Relief Musicians Fund, which is a fantastic fund which helps musicians, artists, back of the house, front of the house, people that just work in the live entertainment industry. They've been around for almost 30 years now doing beautiful work. And for every like and click and share and emoji that you want to share with us this evening while we enjoy the music here with Fritz, we will donate $1 on your behalf. And over almost 3 years now, we're up to almost $70,000. So it really does add up, and it does beautiful things to keep live music amazing. I want to talk live music. I want to talk touring, but I also want to hear your beautiful music. What would you like to play for us next?
Yeah, this next song, it's. I was thinking I'd play something that I don't think many people have heard before. I wrote it really recently on another trip to LA.
Okay.
And it's called "I Wish You Were Lonely," and it's sort of about the like, I
love it already.
Right? It's like, the selfishness that, can sort of seep in, jealousy, all that stuff, all that, bag of worms. But
bag of worms. All right. I Wish You Were Lonely. It's Fritz Hager here in the Jam Happy Hour.
I don't take the exit to this part of Texas. I keep on driving the highway alone, past where I grew up, I fell in love for the first time. I'm not coming home, 'cause I know you won't wait for me. I wanna be yours, I wanna be kind and on your mind. And I want you to want me, I want you to lie 1,000 times. But in the end, you were right about me. And I wish you the best, but I wish you were lonely. I still have the sweater you left in my car. I try to move on, but I never get far. And I met a girl and she thought it was mine, but I didn't tell her what you left behind. I know you don't need me. I wanna be yours, I wanna be kind and on your mind. And I want you to want me, I want you to lie 1,000 times. But in the end, you were right about me. And I wish you the best, but I wish you were lonely. And I wish you the best, but I wish you were lonely. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's a good one. Yep. Just gonna take a little sip of my wine after that one.
I'm gonna. I don't know if you can hear this, but
Yeah, pour a little more.
we're getting up there.
I wish you the best, but I wish you were lonely. I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling.
Yeah, it's like, I think when I don't know, like relationships, love is hard and confusing,
Yeah.
and so many, like, I don't know, there's so many emotions that can pop up, especially like if you're still like dealing with like jealousy or some sort of insecurity. Like oftentimes, you don't want to blame yourself, you want to blame other people.
Oh, it's so much easier.
And yeah, it's easier. It's so much easier, right?
It's so much easier.
But yeah, like, yeah.
That's one of those shared moments, though. That's kind of what we were talking about earlier. It's like you take like the very real emotion of like, hey, this didn't work out. It sucks. I still wish it did. But I want you to be happy. But here's where I'm at. Like that is a very guttural feeling, and a lot of people aren't. They'll act all buff and they're fine, and moving on, and life is great. And look at my Insta feed. I'm so happy, but internally you're still like, damn, like that hurts. And to be able to write from that place and to share from that place, I mean, that's a powerful thing. Like, do you know that?
I don't know. Like, when I write, I don't know, I sort of had this moment of like, for like men in our society right now, like pain and like sadness, I feel like is so often paired with like anger, and there's no sort of like, I mean, like a guy will go and cry into his pillow, you know, but like don't catch him dead crying in front of his friends or even like his partner, you know, like it's a very like, it's something that like men just, you know, haven't done and have sort of been kept from doing yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, it's been ingrained in like society, and, you know, I want to try my best to push against that. Because I think that I don't know, when I write sad songs, I've been trying to stay away from like the anger of it, you know, or like having like these big screaming moments, which can be fun to sing, but like
You're allowed.
Yeah, you know, but like I think that like it's important right now for men to be able to be gentle, you know?
Sure.
And I try and do that when I write as well, you know?
I always try to find the silver lining, not like all Fred Rogers and whatnot, but I always try to find the silver lining in something. And like the last few years have definitely been, you know, some of the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. And like we've all been through like this collective trauma. And thank God for music and thank God for artistry to like pull us through and share those moments. But I really feel like, I mean, people are like, they are so raw right now. And that's why you see people acting crazy. But at the same time, you also see people being vulnerable. And I think if there's a silver lining out of all this craziness is that we are being forced to be in touch with our feelings. And I think, you know, when you share, you know, something like that of like, hey, it's okay to, you know, feel a certain kind of way and be a certain kind of way, that maybe somebody else along the way can be like, oh, okay. And take a deep breath and just be like, I'm not alone. And, you know, I'm going through it too, which I think, you know, ultimately that's what the beauty of music is. It's like, you're never alone if you have music, period.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like, you're so right. You know, everyone is sort of forced to know how they feel. And I feel like you're so right. Like over a year of just being locked in a room, that'll do it to you.
Yeah, if you get real in touch with your feelings. I mean, so there, you know, there were, you know, some very chill days. There was like a lot of just very nice singer-songwriter guitar-y music going on in the house, and then there was some Led Zeppelin days where you just had to act like you didn't care, and then there were some, you know, all-out Turnstile, Alter Bridge, like just get down with it. You know, that's the beauty of music. It can take you where you need to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And all of it is, I think, is equally important. Like, I don't know. I'm trying not to be hypocritical after going like on a, I don't know, 10-minute spiel about like how pop music is disingenuous. But sometimes
there's some very genuine,
you know?
some very genuine pop music. But yes, some of it is vapid and you need it. Like
exactly. Like you need, like sometimes you just need to feel one thing.
I may have danced in the kitchen to Dua Lipa's Barbie Dance the Night. Like sometimes you just need it.
You got to do it.
Amen to that. And cheers, by the way.
Cheers to that.
By the way, if you guys are enjoying, just go ahead and click and like and share and drop them a note. Actually, you know what? Since we're all needing a hug and we're all in therapy apparently right now, whatever emoji makes you think of a hug, I dare you to post it. And let's see if you can make us laugh a little bit, because I don't know if there is a hug emoji or not, but I can't wait to see what everybody comes up with in the meantime. I want to do a lightning round with you.
Okay.
A couple of quick questions. First thing that comes to your mind, super easy, I promise.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready to
Take
go.
a breath. Dream collaboration.
Phoebe Bridgers or Maddie Healy from the 1975.
Ooh, okay. We could totally hang out. All right. All right. Well, you know, they're going on tour. So, you know, God, that's good. That's really good. That's really, bravo, Fritz.
Gotta do it.
Damn good. All right. First concert you wanted to go to?
It was John Mayer, Search for Everything tour. Yeah, it was first like proper concert I went to, and it was mind blowing for me. It was another like one of those moments of like, oh boy, like I know exactly what I want to do, and this guy's doing it right now, you know.
And I love that he's coming back around and doing like the solo acoustic tour now. It's like going back. The first time I saw him, and I'm jumping on my own lightning round. The first time I saw him, he was by himself in like a Lawrence, Kansas, like college bar. And maybe like 50 girls had heard of this John Mayer guy. And it was just him and a guitar. And it was like, okay, well, this guy's got something. And then you got blow up. And then now he's stripping it back down, which I think is very super cool. What was the first concert you were dragged to that you didn't want to go to?
Oh, okay. It was this. So they're actually like a Nashville-based group now. It was Andrew Peterson, Behold the Lamb of God tour, which is so my dad's a pastor.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad's a pastor, so I was raised in the church.
All right.
I'm not super religious anymore, but I was raised in the church, and my dad had started listening to this like Christmas album that this singer-songwriter from Nashville wrote, named Andrew Peterson, and a bunch of other artists, and they would do this tour every year,
like
around
a Christmas
time.
tour.
I think they're still doing it. Yeah.
That's cool.
Full, and they would just like play through his album, and like at first I was like, I do not want to go to this, but then like I don't know, like I met like some really amazing people. Like I was in middle school just learning guitar, and I wanted to like we were going to help like I don't know, like set up like rap chords and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you were like kind of into it.
Yeah, I was a little techie that couldn't really do anything besides rap chords because I was like 13 or 14 years old.
But you wanted to know more.
But I wanted to know more. It was like, I'm there. I might as well do something.
Love it.
And then I was a little sneaky too. I brought my guitar with me just in case something happened.
Shady.
And I ended up, I don't know what I was doing. Probably fucking nothing. I was just probably just sitting there, and I heard like bluegrass music playing in the bathroom, in the men's bathroom. I was like, what is going on? So I peeked my head in, and it was just like the band just playing bluegrass in the bathroom because they like the acoustics.
Cool.
So I ran and got my guitar. I ran and got my guitar and then joined them. Which, like, looking back now, it's like, why did I do that? That's like,
it's
these
perfect.
people don't even know my name. It was just a 14-year-old kid walking in with a guitar like half the size as he is, and yeah. And then that show, they ended up like bringing me on stage and playing that little bluegrass song with them, which was like a big
Fritz.
It was a big sort of like, as a kid, it was like, whoa, this is.
You must have been
the first
floating after that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was crying after that, I think, because it was so dope. But
well, that brings about an interesting question though, because you talk about that being the first taste of like being on stage and having that buzz, and it is a buzz. Whether you're singing, performing, acting, like if you've got that bug and you perform and you love performing, like once you've tasted it, you can't go back. But obviously, the last few years have been very interesting, and your experience, not only with Idol, because you're putting in the work long before that too, but like. Are you more comfortable on stage or in studio? Or is it two totally different things for you?
It's two different things. Like, I mean, since it's really like therapy. I feel like we might as well change this from jam happy hour to jam therapy.
Jam therapy. I can get my copay on that.
Right. But no, it's two different things, I think. Like, I feel the most like vulnerable when I'm writing, when I'm in the studio, and I feel like I can delve into things that I feel and tap into those things a little easier.
Right.
On stage, I think I feel just happier in general. Just being able to like, I don't know, because I went a long time without people hearing my music at all, and truthfully without writing anything worth listening to, probably. But
self-awareness,
right. But no, yeah, like I love performing, and any opportunity I get to do it, like I always say yes, because again, it's like the music industry is the service industry, and like
never heard it put like that. I love that you say that. I think all my interviews,
that's what
in almost 30
years,
I've never heard anybody say that before. But you're right.
Yeah, like I mean, imagine if your waiter just texted you instead of like coming up and talking to you, like in, like it's different, and
Mm-hmm.
like for me personally, like I mean, my fans support me so much that like, yeah, I'm not gonna say no to any opportunity to meeting them and like being in a space in a room with them because like
In person,
because
yeah.
of social media and stuff, everything's so like distant and like parasocial, and like I think breaking down that sort of barrier is really important.
Yeah, it's great to be back with live music, and that's everybody in the world is touring right now. Quick reset: we are doing the Jam Happy Hour tonight for the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. So if you're enjoying the performance, you're enjoying the conversation. If you have a question, we're scrolling the comments as well, but please put them up because every time you do that, or just a thumbs up emoji, we'll donate $1 to the fund on your behalf from Jam Cellars. And I hope you are enjoying sitting back, sipping, and enjoying the music here with Fritz Hager. My last question of the not so lightning round: dream venue. If you were to close your eyes and picture yourself on a stage, the pinnacle moment, what stage is that?
I mean, we were talking about it before we started the stream, but Red Rocks, like
Red Rocks, baby.
I want to play Red Rocks so bad. It's just like I can't even express how bad I want to play that venue.
It's mystical,
Yeah, I
right?
don't know. It's like crazy, and it's so pretty. I don't know. I'm so used to not seeing stars, and I feel like
Oh, yeah.
just seeing a night sky over and like I don't know.
Okay, well, that
It's a
takes me
magical
straight
place,
to my Red Rocks moment because I'm a little bit older than you. And I remember U2, Sunday, Bloody Sunday at Red Rocks being a definitive MTV moment for me. And I think that's where my obsession with that venue began because it was just the
Yeah.
coolest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And then, as venues, like these tours now, they're stadiums and they're massive and they're cool, don't get me wrong. But it's like when you can strip it down to something that's in nature like that and the acoustics are
Right.
sick. Yes. All right. I see that happening for you, by the way.
I do too. We're manifesting.
Manifestation.
You know?
Manifestation. It's happening.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
With your dream collaborator, Phoebe Bridgers.
Woo!
Let's just go next level.
Crazy. I saw Phoebe Bridgers when she was in Nashville. It was crazy. Well, it was Boy
With
Genius,
Tay-Tay?
like the whole.
Oh.
No, the Boy Genius tour, and Clairo was there too. And I missed Dijon. I was so mad. They like the whole set, like all the sets got pushed back like an hour, and I showed
Right.
up like right when Dijon was supposed to start, but I didn't get the like text or whatever. I don't know. They sent out a message. I didn't get it, and I totally missed his set, which made me very sad. But
Coming
Boy
back
Genius,
around, though.
Clairo, amazing. Right.
I want to dive into what you like listening to, what are your mood lifters and stuff, but I want to make sure we get your music in because again, it is the fastest hour in music, I swear to God. We've got about 12 minutes left and I want to jump in on another song with you, Fritz Hager here in the Jam Happy Hour. What would you like to play for us next?
Oh man.
Options.
There's right. Yeah, there's a little song I wrote. I'm a huge nerd. Like astronomical nerd. Like it's crazy. I love Dungeons and Dragons. It's my favorite game
Oh
in
my
the
God.
world. There's a little
Eight-sided
song
dice.
called 20. 20,
Oh
baby.
shit, sorry.
Yeah.
That's a lot. My brother played, so I'm peripheral.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Well,
D&D
so
on the side.
There's a D&D stream called Critical Role that like tells just some amazing stories, and I ended up writing a song sort of inspired by one of the characters, weirdly, but it's pretty cool. But
All right, I'm going to challenge everybody then. For those of you following along, I want to see emojis that you think belong in a Dungeon and Dragons song. While you're performing this, of course. What's it
that's
called?
a good one. It's called Little Moon.
Little Moon, Fritz Hager here in the Jam Happy Hour. Enjoy.
Hey there, my little moon. Sorry I left too soon, but you're going places too, little moon. And hey there, my little moon. Know that I'm crying too, but I hope you remember me, 'cause I remember you. So much alone, little soldier, and know that I'm on your shoulder. And when the sky is clear, know that I feel you near. You can find me up here next to you, my little moon. Little moon. Yeah.
It's one of those songs you can kind of lose time in, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very
You know?
just sort of dreamy, and
Yeah. Did you catch any of those emojis that were flying by?
I did.
We have a very
I did.
clever audience with us. They found the wizards. They found the dragons.
Oh yeah. It's funny. So I don't know. I go live every once in a while on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff. And at one point, I don't know. There's some people in here that I recognize from the stream.
That's cool.
And before I started playing, Kaylin said "Goblin Song," which almost like it almost got me. I'm telling you, but like. So,
there it is.
So like it's so nerdy, but we like. So I, back when I lived in Texas, I played D&D with my friends like every week for like probably 4 years, like almost every week. And I would
That's
like
better than
make
Robin
theme
Banks.
songs and stuff and music. And,
Oh,
like, all this stuff.
okay.
And I made a song, sung by goblins, sung and performed by little goblin guys. And I used this. I wonder if I have it here. I used like a vocal transformer thing to make my voice sound like a goblin.
Goblin-y?
Yeah. And so there's a like probably like 10, 15 people that have heard that song, and the fact that they're here is really funny to me.
And this is where we break into the goblin song, but we were not prepared for the goblin song.
Goblin song's a lot, man. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Just to kind of dip the toe into the insane wave pool that is Idol. Are you glad you did it?
Oh, yes. 100%. Like, it's very different for everyone that does it. Like it's very personal.
The behind
experience.
the scenes is a lot more intense than people realize.
Yeah, 100%. It can get crazy, and very, very stressful. For me personally, like my individual experience, it was exactly what I needed at the perfect time. Like all of the crew, they were very like just giving and caring.
Yeah.
And I was at a point when I auditioned where it was like, I don't know if I was going to do music anymore. I'd been trying for a long time, and I was sort of thinking like, okay, maybe I just like get a job, and maybe music's just a hobby. Right. I don't know, like the months leading up before I auditioned, and then it happened, and it was just a healthy ego boost that got me back to
Doing what you
normal,
love.
back to being, yeah, exactly. So
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah, getting you back to yourself, getting you back to where you wanted to be, reminding you why you love to do what you do. Then yeah, I would say it's 1,000% worth it. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Would you suggest other people do it?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it is, if anything, it is great exposure. Perfect exposure. You know, like if you can like make it through the show, get some airtime, ride that wave as much as you can, you know, like,
yeah.
I think that for like newer artists, especially that are trying to break, you know, in the industry, this is kind of me included too. I still haven't like fully, like, you know, I haven't exploded yet, but that's the goal. It's gonna happen. We're manifesting Red Rock.
We're manifesting it.
You know,
Red Rocks.
Right. But you know, for newer artists, it's like nowadays you need something to sort of push you forward. Like, look at all of like the biggest artists right now. Like, I mean, oh my gosh, the sun is like washing out
lighting.
Everything. Oh my gosh.
No, it's ethereal. Go with it. It's very D&D.
Oh, beautiful. Perfect. No, but like,
Can't
I mean,
buy
so
that
Olivia
lighting.
Rodrigo, right? Like Olivia Rodrigo is a like huge artist. She started on like Disney Channel, basically, you know, the High School Musical stuff.
It's all about exposure.
You know, yeah. It's all about, you know, every big artist always has this one sort of thing that they look back and like, oh, you were a part of this? And Idol's a great, like, version of that, you know? Like,
it's part of a story.
I mean,
there's so many artists that have come off, have gone through a similar experience. And it wasn't about, you know, where you ended up on the show or how anything. It was about the fact that you had that experience and you had that exposure, and whether it's a Tori Kelly or whether, you know, there's like, there's laundry list of names. But now here we are, and, you know, you're, you know, exposure to people that never even watched the show and don't even know anything about it. But here you are, you're on, you know, Spotify playlists, Apple playlists, like you're getting this like global exposure. What is next for you, Fritz Hager? Where do you go from here?
I'm just going to keep doing the thing, you know, like just keep writing. That's a big thing for me. Keep writing, keep releasing music. And just because the minute you stop is the minute that it's over, you know?
Right.
So I'm just never going to stop.
You know? Thank goodness for that.
Yeah. Like,
you guys, if you're watching along here in the Jam Happy Hour, you can put your like last few emojis up. Golden hour emojis are solid and good. We're going to cheers and just, you know, thank you so much for spending the evening with us and playing music and telling stories. It's great to get to know you better. Very excited to watch your career.
Thank you.
I
so
love your
much. And
sincerity.
thank you so much for having me. I mean, this has been amazing, truly.
Next time in Napa in person.
Yes, 100%.
Bring your mom.
I will. I will. Besties.
You got to bring your mom. You got to take care of mom. And the dog. Bring Tex.
And bring Tex too. Oh man.
Well, that might be a bit of a stretch. We got a couple of minutes left. Hi, baby. You heard me talking, didn't you? Is there anything you'd like to play us out with?
Yeah. So this was the
this
first
great
song
golden
that
hour.
I released after American Idol, and it's called Caroline. It's one of my favorite songs I've ever written. And we were talking about like sometimes you just need to feel one thing. Sometimes you just need to like dance and have a good time. That's this song for me. So
beautiful. Caroline here in the Jam Happy Hour. It's Fritz Hager.
You guys cannot see me at all. This is so funny. Must have been a long night drinking. Woke up to a different ceiling. Clothes are on the floor. From the bed to your front door. 5 o'clock and you're still sleeping. Don't remember giving you my shirt, but you can keep it. wear it like a secret. Thought I caught your name, but I don't remember it. Did you say Caroline? I think we went too far last night. Caroline, oh tell me, did I get that right? Going out with you on Monday, take you to my favorite cafe. Coffee on the counter and they're calling out your name. They say Caroline, I can't believe I guessed it right. Just wanna see you again. I just wanna see you. I just wanna see you. I just wanna see you again. Caroline, we should do this again sometime. Caroline, oh.
Caroline, out of Fritz Hager here, wrapping up the Jam Happy Hour to benefit the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. Thanks to you. Thanks to your fans. Thanks for everybody for hanging out and enjoying just an hour of music and authenticity and just having a great time. And cheers to you, sir.
Cheers.
And Tex as well.
And thanks for the wine. Quick
Can't wait to do it again soon.
Y'all, this is crazy, by the way, before we leave. This is so good. You guys
so
need to get your hands on this. Oh my God.
Thank you. We loved having
so
you.
much
I love
for
having
having
everybody
me.
along.
Yes, thank you to everybody that stopped in, hung out with us. You're amazing. Cheers.
And cheers. Good night.